spectacular campsites on the most remote of tracks, to the workshop and everything in between. Your next episode of Great Off-Road Adventures is just seconds away. Well, good day everyone, it's Graham and Jess from Great Off-Road Adventures. Welcome back to another video. Now this one here, we're set up at camp and we're going to talk to you about some camping tips.
Based on our opinion, of course.
From our experience, we do obviously a lot of camping. We've camped multiple different ways, from tents to swags to rooftops to camper trailers. So yeah, we're going to talk to you about our experience with camping. We're going to give you at least 5 tips, but we might think of a few extras as we go and tag them on at the end.
Yeah, and this is based on, you know, when we go to work and stuff, people at work will ask us our recommendations, and so this is what we generally discuss when talking to friends and family.
Friends and family. Cool, all right, so the first tip we've got is don't start extravagantly, all right? We say that because you're new to camping, you don't know whether you're going to like it or not, or love it or not. And so our tip would be start with a basic setup that's comfortable. So, you know, start within your means, and then from that you can assess whether you like it or not. And a good idea there is, if you've got friends that are into camping, see if they've got some gear that they can lend you and help you out. That way you can get out, see what it's like. You don't have to invest a heap of money. And this way, you know, you get a sort of a try before you buy experience.
In saying don't be extravagant though, obviously there are some lines that should not be crossed.
Yep.
If you're someone like me who is a little bit funny about the bathroom, I will always bring a toilet. There is no way. I told Graham when we started dating, toilets coming with me.
And this flows on to another point that we'll talk about later on, about where you're going to first go camping.
Exactly. But it's, you know, if you're one of those people who loves their coffee, you're not going to be happy if you don't have your coffee.
Exactly.
Make sure you bring what you need to have a coffee.
Make a good
you
coffee.
You don't need the espresso setup with the lithium battery, but make sure you do get something, because if your basic needs aren't met, you're just not going to enjoy it regardless of where you go. So,
in saying that, there are some things that I would sort of say are worth investing a little bit more in than others. Your mattress.
Yeah, good night's sleep is worth gold.
And chairs, mattress and chairs, because there's nothing that's going to be worse than when you go out camping, you've got a lovely spot, you've got uncomfortable chairs to sit on, you don't enjoy it, or, you know, you go to sleep, you've got an uncomfortable mattress, you wake up sore and stiff in the morning. There's just no enjoyment in that.
Yeah.
We've been there, we've done that.
And the great thing is things like mattresses and chairs you can use at home, so it's not really money poorly spent, because you can find other uses for it.
If you buy a good quality self-inflating mattress, you can use it as a spare mattress at home when you get visitors. So it's not like, oh, I'm spending a lot of money on camping gear. There's lots of alternative uses for it. So that'd be my one. Don't start super extravagantly, but start within your means, assess if you like it. If you do like it and you're enjoying it, then move forward and get into some better quality gear to make it a bit more easier and fun for you. Number 2, camping tip number 2.
Graham wrote a checklist for me. I have terrible memory. Okay, look at the weather, location, and pack accordingly. This cannot be more true. I've just had a friend come back from Christmas holidays, where she spent Christmas holidays in Broome, and all she did was complain about the mosquitoes. She hadn't packed bug repellent, and she didn't realise there'd be so many mosquitoes in Broome in December. Look at where you're going. Look at what the weather patterns are.
Yep.
You don't have to be a meteorologist, but have a 5-minute Google search, because she did not enjoy her holiday at all. Whether, if She spent those 5 minutes earlier, she could have got the strong bug spray and enjoyed her holiday a lot more.
Yep. And that's the same thing, like we've got a video series coming up from a trip, went down to Albany, and I will always, when I go to the south coast, even if it's the middle of summer, I will always pack wet weather gear and gear for the cold.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, we went down there for a long weekend, got rained on for a whole day. We were down there 2 years ago, same Australia Day long weekend, end of January, height of summer, day of beautiful weather, rained on again for another day. So, yeah. One of those things that, you know, ask your friends what their experiences have been going to the south coast, going to Albany, that sort of thing, and take some advice.
Especially, you know, the further you go from where you live, the more unknown the weather pattern's going to be to you. So, you know, it definitely pays to consider it. And also just safety, pack for all weather occasions just in case.
Correct. You know, like even in the height of summer, I'll always pack a jumper. And even like when I'm going in cold climates, I'll always probably throw in a t-shirt and shorts.
You live in a t-shirt and shorts, that doesn't count.
I do. But yeah, so the big one there is wherever you go, pack something warm, because it's easier to cool yourself down, I find, than it is when you're cold to warm yourself up. So the third tip we have, and this is again, we're working with generic tips here, and then sort of covering off on them as we go.
Because camping can be anything from a caravan park to remote in the middle of Australia camping. So we're trying to, you know, cater for a lot.
Cover off a few points there. So my third tip, or our third tip, is bring something for cover. So I've got written down there either tarpaulin and poles, or a gazebo, like one of those pop-up gazebos, and they're not overly expensive. You know, even if it's just an awning on the side of your car. At the end of the day, if you're going out camping, or, you know, you're going to go down to the beach, you're going to go and do activities on your trip, there's going to be time when you are out in the sun, out in the open, and in our experience, there's nothing worse than being stuck in the blazing sun, or for that fact, the driving rain, and not having some sort of coverage.
Yeah, definitely the driving rain when it starts really pouring. You just want to bunker down somewhere dry and warm. And, you know, you can't unfortunately rely on trees. Trees drop branches. So if you're planning to use trees as your cover and are parked right underneath one, you then got to consider what if a branch falls as well. So you've got plenty of options there. For years, when my parents and I would do our big trip up to Shark Bay, you know, we'd park up the cars and we'd go fishing on the boat for a week, 2 weeks at a time, and we would take up a 10 metre by 6 metre tarpaulin, which is a monster, and we would put that up on poles. We'd obviously take heaps of poles, heaps of guy ropes, heaps of big pegs, because you're in the sand up there, and we would lift that up, and that gave us heaps of space underneath it for coverage, because up there the shrubs are lucky to be this tall. There's no trees, there's no shade. You have to make your own shade, and when you're up there for 2 weeks, trust me, you want some shade. So yeah, that's something that I've learned from then, and obviously, you know, now because we move around, we're more mobile, we've gone with the traditional awning on the side of the car. So, but definitely you want a way of getting out of the sun when it's hot, and if it's raining, staying dry, because, you know, you still need to be able to operate by cooking and that sort of stuff. And no one wants to sit in the car when it's, you know, raining, to stay out of the rain.
Correct.
You just feel like very sucky then.
And it's good, you know, if you're going away with your friends and that sort of thing, if you get awnings on the side of your cars, you can butt them together, you can get more coverage. We've gone camping like that before over Christmas, got belt on with rain, played a game of cards. You know, we did it with Andrew Fan as well when we did our wildflowers trip. So definitely worthwhile ensuring you've got some overhead coverage. Righto, tip number 4.
Okay, so this is about where you go camping, and there's a lot of YouTubers like us right now who go to really remote, secluded spots, but you don't have to go super remote
No.
straight away. And we don't encourage new time campers to go remote super away because if it's your first couple times camping, you may not be prepared for certain emergency situations or have the gear required to contact people if you need, because,
Yep.
tyres break or a car part breaks. We've got experience with all of that. So, pick a tourist destination that's more close by, or a caravan park, or...
I mean, I'm talking about Perth here, but like literally we're an hour and 20 minutes from Perth here. But if you want to come camping here, you need to be entirely self-sufficient. Now, if you're new to camping and you don't have all the equipment yet, say you've borrowed some stuff, you just want to go and see what it's like, there are, I reckon I can think of 4 places straight off the top of my head, if not more, that you can get to within an hour and a half, 2 hours tops of Perth, that have plenty of facilities, plenty of camping spots, and you can go and test out your camping.
Exactly. And
Dwelling Up's a good one.
Yep.
Avon Valley's another one. And then going down along the coast, you've got like Martin's Tank, which is that area's around, what's it called? Not Peppy Beach, the other one. Yeah, it's just south of Mandurah along the beach there.
Yeah. I mean, if you're unsure where to go, great places to look up are things like Deepore.
Yep.
They're always a great option. Farm stays.
Wiki camps.
Wiki camps.
There's that Campify or whatever it is, where there's sort of farm stays. Some of
Yep.
those have camp kitchens, so there are some facilities there.
Look for places that there's either facilities to fill in the gaps where you don't
Help
have
you out,
equipment, or where there's easy drive into a shop or a phone reception or
Convenient.
something that you can therefore contact people if you need, or pick up what you broke. I remember as a kid, my parents tried the air mattresses at one point, and of course the air mattress broke every night. So being close to a shop was very convenient because we just kept buying new air mattresses. It took us a couple times to learn to stop buying an air mattress.
Yep. So yeah, on that note, I've had the same experiences with air mattresses.
Don't buy air mattresses.
Don't like them. If you're new to camping, don't waste your money on an air
No.
mattress.
In saying that, we have a self-inflating mattress, which
It has foam
a
inside.
type of air mattress,
Yeah.
but it is much better.
Yeah, don't get one of the air mattresses that you've got to blow air into. Get something that has the foam inside it. All right, there's an extra tip for you. All right. So yeah, I mean, we love our getaways and we love going remote. Part of the enjoyment we get out of camping is just having some peace and some solitude, not having neighbours right there that are screaming at their kids, that are carrying on.
Which we've also
Yeah,
experienced.
exactly. Those, I'm sure there's probably a few of you watching this video that are seasoned campers that are laughing at some of this stuff. You know what we mean by it.
And I'm sure there's some parents out there laughing that's going, you friggin' no children people, wait till you have it.
Yep, exactly.
We're not blaming you, we're just saying.
Yeah, so we love going remote, and obviously we show a lot of remote stuff in our trips, but for those of you that are new to going camping or starting out to looking to go camping, I wouldn't condone or suggest or recommend that you start going remote straight off the bat.
Yeah, no.
So work out whether you're going to like it, then you can start looking at what gear you need to make your travels better, to go that bit further, to go that bit more remote, to go that bit more comfortably. So
Yep, definitely.
now this is a pretty quick and simple tip, and that's the 5th one we've got, and that is don't arrive at your first camp in the dark.
It's harder to do than...
Yeah, it's easy to say that, but if you're new to camping, and you're thinking, all right, let's shoot off after work one day, try your bestest not to arrive at your camp spot at 6:30 in the evening when the kids are going to be hungry and wanting dinner, when you're going to be hungry and wanting dinner, when you've still got to set up your tent and your mattresses and then cook dinner and all that.
Yeah, and of course
work to try and get there that bit earlier so that you've got the sun so you can set yourself up.
The next thing is when you do set up at that dinner time, if you are camping where other people do camp, you have the whole peanut gallery watching you put up your tents
Yep.
or swags or whatever setup you've chosen to go with. And if you're still new to it, it's very unpleasant to go through. You would have seen when we had the camper, Graham and I made an effort to a week before we caught up with people go remote camping where there weren't
Familiar
our friends.
ourselves with the gear that we were using.
So we didn't have to put it up in front of people because we didn't want to be that group.
Okay.
That
Well,
was,
you don't want to embarrass yourself, so yeah.
No.
But certainly don't let that stop you from going out camping.
Oh God, no! It was just
But just keep it in mind. Don't plan to shoot off for your first ever camping trip and get to your destination around a meal time or when the
Yeah.
sun's going down, because you're just going to put more stress on yourselves and probably end up in arguments if you're going with your partner. So
No, we haven't done that yet.
no, but then we're seasoned. We know what we're doing. So that's just a tip. I've seen plenty of arguments from people going camping that are which pole goes where on the tent.
Yep.
So
Yep. Yeah. It's like if it's raining, that's always a
Exactly.
stressful point to put up new
setting
gear.
up camp in the rain. That's a whole nother thing too.
Yeah.
That's one of those things where maybe just sit in the car for another 5 or 10 minutes, wait for a break in the rain, or if you've arrived somewhere and you've got a bit more time up your sleeves, go for a bit more of a drive and then come back to camp. Hopefully the rain's moved on. So, or get your raincoats on that you've brought because you've looked at the weather, and just get on with it. One of those things. And our 6th point is, I told you there'd be some extras.
He still doesn't think I can remember anything. It's the most obvious one, of course. Pack your cameras and have a good time. Pack your cameras, pack games if you're into games, pack
Yep.
your drinks if you're into drinks. The aim of the game is to have fun. So let your hair down, relax, and just enjoy whatever Australia or wherever you may be has to offer.
Exactly. So, yeah, that's pretty much all we can think of. We've been compiling this list for a little while.
Yeah. Obviously,
working
we
out.
get more specific, as we know more detail. So if someone comes and asks us about a specific location or something, we can normally provide more meaningful, I guess, tips. But
Correct. More
as a generic beginner,
tips with more direction.
yeah. I guess the one thing I would like to say, which I didn't cover in point 1, when we say don't be extravagant, it also means you don't have to spend thousands on your car straight away.
Yeah. I'm probably going to get
He's a bad example.
I'm probably going to get a bit of heat here in the comments, but I was just literally talking today with a mate of mine who's looking to get into doing a bit of camping and that sort of thing, and he's looking at rooftop tents versus ground tents versus swags, and he'll probably use it for 2-3 weeks a year tops. So maybe one or two, big moderate sized trips a week, 2 weeks in duration. And I was actually with another friend of mine too, Kieran from, Kiva Adventures.
Yep.
And we both said it, Kieran and I both said it to my mate Ant, go and look at Kings. I'll put my hand up.
Hey, we've bought Kings.
We've bought Kings.
We've bought Kings.
They have a place in the market, and it is there for those that are looking to start out, to get some gear.
Or for infrequent use.
Exactly. But as soon as you're going to start using it frequently, you want a decent lifespan from it, you're going to need to look at something a bit more quality.
Yeah. And it's the same with the car. If you have a four-wheel drive, you don't need to have the top of the line lights with the top of the line roof rack, with the top of the line suspension, with the top of the line battery system, like the list goes on.
Correct.
You don't need any of that.
If you're just wanting to get out to go camping, to test it out, it's the same with getting out to test out whether you're going to enjoy your full driving. I guess, for us, the two go hand in hand, so we sort of can amalgamate it into one point. But yeah, you don't need to commit to building this massive, beast of a full drive with all the fruit under the sun for your first time out. You can just do a bit of research, speak to a few people, find somewhere that's suitable for your basic four-wheel drive to go to, and go and test it out, see if you enjoy it. Same for camping.
Exactly. If you just want to do it though because you want to do a big build and you can do it, by all means go for your
Yeah.
life. We love watching those big builds. They're bloody awesome
Gives us some
to watch,
inspiration
and
for ourselves.
yeah, they're fantastic. But you know, we're
you're
catering for
starting out-
most people, and
Correct. If you're starting out, and I'm sure probably 99% of people that are starting out in four-wheel driving and camping, you know, you don't need to go OTT over the top. So
yeah.
anyway, guys, I'm sure you've probably got a heap of questions yourselves. So by all means, jump down in the comments, leave them down there for us now, and I'll write back to all of you with whatever advice and answers I can give.
Graham will let me know if there's any questions for me.
Yep. Yeah, you can talk to Jess. Just let me know. Say
I just
question
get
for Jess.
frustrated with the notifications at work, so I leave all the admin to Graham.
Yeah. Anyway, you know the deal. Happy, safe adventuring. Stay safe on the tracks and trails. Maybe one day we'll see you out there. If not, see you in the next video. You can subscribe down here. You can check out our other videos down here. See yous.
See ya.